Hi, it's Rochelle with Stampin' Up. Happy Monday. I'm hoping everybody has had a great Monday so far. So each Monday, I like to highlight a product or an item of the week. And this week, August 17th, I want to highlight and showcase for you the Stamparatus. So, have you ever had your favorite paper, like it's just the most beautiful paper you've ever seen, and you're saving it for a very special card because you only have a little bit left of it? And then have you messed that beautiful card and paper up with a stamping debacle? I have, and it's sad. Well, this Stamparatus is going to put an end to that, I promise you. Today I'm going to use the Autumn Goodness stamp set from the holiday catalog. As you can see, it's got some really detailed stamps in this set, so it's going to be a perfect stamp set to use for this example. I will be using the Whisper White cardstock to stamp on. So let me tell you how the Stamparatus works. There are two clear plates where you're able to position your stamp and magnets to hold your card base. And this tool helps you align your images so that you can get great two-step stamps, or if you're doing a multiple project where you're doing the same stamp over and over, it helps speed up the job, and it also keeps everything precise. So let's take a look at the Stamparatus. You get the base plate with the grid lines. There are two magnets that are attached on the back, and they're very strong. So you definitely want to make sure you keep them separated. You don't want to get them too close to each other. I went ahead and ordered the deluxe mat with the grid lines on it because I prefer stamping on a mat. And it fits perfectly in there, and then it also allows me to still see where my grid lines are. It also comes with two clear plates for stamps. And you can see that they're hinged, so you're able to just snap it in and then snap the other one in if you were doing a two-part stamp or if you wanted to stamp two different colors. And since they're hinged, if you wanted to take your stamp and then move it down your paper without actually moving your paper, you can very easily do that. You just take it out, move it down a hinge, and then you can stamp. And then move it down a hinge and stamp, and you get the idea. Makes it very easy to move the stamp down the paper without having to realign your paper each time. I do recommend taking two other stamp cases. I'm just going to use the Field of Flowers and Dandelion Wishes as an example, just to place them underneath the plates so that if you need to, when you're re-inking, it's not going to put stress on the actual hinge. If the image is distracting to you, you can always flip it over so that you're able to see what you're looking at versus the case. There we go. And then I have already pre-cut two pieces, 4.5 by 4. And I'm just going to get, actually first what I'm going to do is get my stamps out. So let's see, here's the flowers. And the wheelbarrow. And I will do the wheel later. So I'm going to leave it there, but I want to pull it off to the side so I don't forget. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of get an idea placement-wise where I would like this to go. I try to stay away from the hinge just because it requires just a little bit more pressure. So I'm going to just kind of line it up here so I make sure it's nice and straight. I will use a magnet to hold it in place. And then just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and add the magnet at the bottom. It's not a really large piece. I probably don't need both, but better safe than sorry. So first I will just make sure I lay down to get a placement idea. And then this here, I'm going to want it to overlap. So I'm going to put it probably like that. Okay, so since the flowers are on top, I'm going to use this top one here just to grab that stamp. Oh, the wheelbarrow wanted to come too. Okay, I'm just going to give it a nice little smush just to make sure it stays there. And then again, I just want to check for placement. I think that looks good there. So now I'm going to close the second hinge. Go, give it a little smush. And then let's get started with the inking. So for the wheelbarrow, I'm going to use the classic Stampin' Pad in Crumb Cake. I think it's a nice brown, so I'm just going to open this up and then carefully, so I don't get it on, oh, I always end up getting ink everywhere. So I'll just make sure I get a nice good ink and then I'll clean that up. All right, I will just wipe off. That's the nice thing too with this plate, is that the ink doesn't stick to it, so it's very easy to just clean up, tidy up. Okay, now for the flowers, I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black because I'm going to actually hand color the flowers. So I'm going to just quickly ink this up. And again, I tend to get ink. Oh, I don't have much on me yet today. I ink everything somehow. Okay, just going to clean that up. Now I'm going to show you how super simple this is to get a nice, concise, clean, stamped image every time. So I'm going to purposely not push all the way. So I got my inked image. Now as I pull it away, I'm like, oh, normally this would have wasted my cardstock because I would have to toss this out or flip it over and then re-ink. But the beautiful thing with the Stamparatus is, as you can see, this little section here didn't quite pick up enough ink. All I have to do is close the hinge again, push in that spot, and then as I lift it away, you see a beautifully stamped image with no ghost shadows. It's awesome. For people who are like me, who are stamp challenged, I tend to either push too hard on one spot or not enough in another. This is excellent because it gives it a nice even pressure. Okay, now I'm going to do the flowers. And as I see, I kind of line it up before I push it down. Looks pretty good. Stamp it. And there you go. Now you see this beautiful stamped image. And it's so simple. Now, if I wanted to continue making additional cards, all I would have to do is replace the paper and move the magnets to hold the next piece of paper in line, and then I can continue stamping, and you can very quickly make several cards all at once in the same position. Another great thing with the Stamparatus is that if I wanted to do 2 different colors, makes it very simple. So I can stamp, let's say this was a tree branch and I wanted to stamp colored leaves on top. You're able to use 2 different plates with 2 different inks to stamp on top the same image. Just makes it super simple. So, and it's very quick and easy to pack up. I just pull off my foam mat. And again, I purchased the extra foam mat just because I prefer stamping my stamps on foam, and the foam piece that comes with it doesn't have the grid lines. That's the only reason. As you can see, let me grab the foam one that comes with it. This is the foam mat that comes with the Stamparatus, and it's great for stamping, and if you don't care where the lines are, then you don't need to worry about buying the additional mat. Excuse me. But for me, I just wanted the extra grid lines. So to clean up, it's super simple. You just peel your stamps off. Obviously, you will clean them and then just pull off the plates. If you want to store them all together, you can. The hinges go on the outside. Just attach the magnets to the back in their location. And I have the bag, which I think is wonderful, so I go ahead and just store mine in the bag after I'm done using it. There's 2 sides with pockets. I tend to keep the plates and the deluxe foam mat in the pocket with the Velcro latch. And then I just take the base plate and I put that in the other pocket on the other side. The pockets help keep everything together and tidy, and then it zips up for easy storage and nothing will fall out. It's got handles. It also has a shoulder strap for easy carrying. So I hope you enjoyed the Stamparatus. Happy stamping! Oops, look at me sitting there trying to go and relax. Totally forgot to show you the end product. Sorry about that. Here you go. So here is the finished product. I have not attached it to a card base yet. It's just the front. I'll figure that out later. I added a little bit of bling to the wheel. Added a sentiment from the Gather Together stamp set, which is also from the holiday catalog. And the colors that I used was Crumb Cake for the wagon, Chocolate Chip, which is an older color from Stampin' Up, for the wheel, and then I used the Memento Tuxedo Black for the flowers, and then I colored the flowers in with all of these beautiful markers. And I used, oh, where did it go? I used dark and light Old Olive. If I can just find them. Dark and light Old Olive, dark and light Cherry Cobbler, dark and light Pumpkin Pie, dark and light Calypso Coral, and then I used the dark Mango Melody to color in the center of the flowers, just to give it a little punch. I'm feeling like it's missing something, like, I don't know, maybe something up in here. I used the Gilded Gems from the Ornate Garden Suite for the wagon wheel. That's these here. So let me see. Sometimes what I like to do is, instead of just pulling them off, is just kind of grabbing it to see if it would look nice. Putting like an extra one. Not real good with the adding of the gems. So I think I might just leave it as is. Well, no, let's see. We already have them out. There. Just gives it a little extra. Oh, I did use the dark Cherry Cobbler just to outline the edge. And how I do that is I just take the brush end and just drag it across the paper like that. So similar to before, like a long time ago, we used to take like a distressed ink and do that on the edges. I guess I'm lazy now. I just do that with whatever marker I think would look good. I do try to be careful because sometimes I slip and I do this. So I do try to hold it close to where I'm going, just so I avoid that. Okay, so there you go. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching.